I don't know that I had a definition of being a man. My background was so confused that I almost had no idea. The model that was presented was one of being chivalrous.
So what I've discovered about what it is to be a man, and this probably isn't purely in a masculine space, but it's certainly a very strong part of it, and that's about being open and authentic, and particularly authenticity. I just have to keep pulling myself up on that all the time and checking in to see whether that's what I'm being. And so talking to anyone about it, it's the same thing. Be who you are and put yourself out there genuinely, check in that you are being genuine, and you'll be amazed at the reaction you get in that space, rather than pretending to be something you're not, because people will find you out. I think one thing that is out there a lot is people think they're pretty good at hiding what they're really feeling, and everything shows that they're actually terrible, and most of us are pretty good at seeing through that. So much better to be who you are and be real.
Yeah. But when I was a teenager, it was around being strong and being, really showing that you had, that you came with some strengths behind it, and you could be able to achieve things. It was certainly not around what you were feeling at the time. It was really around doing and achieving. So today, to be a man, I think it's also really important that we learn to be with our fears, in that it is not, I always call myself a tall, strong Viking, but as a tall, strong Viking, it's not only the strength that you have to have, you also need to learn to be able to sit with the things that you can't do, even if you are a tall, strong Viking. And sometimes you have to identify the areas where you're weak, and it's actually when you then sit with those things that you are fearful of that you really learn about yourself, and then you grow, and then you become a tall, strong Viking again after you've identified your weaker sides. So I don't think we're taught that as young men. So my message to my own son or sons would be that it's important that we learn to be both able to do and feel and sense at the same time, and that does take a little bit of time sitting still and actually feeling what we're feeling, and not just running around in life and being extremely busy, or, as I guess a lot of the young children tend to do today, being totally caught up behind computers and electronic devices.
Toughening up, not showing my emotions, probably putting a wall of anger up sometimes to protect myself. That's what I saw as being a man. I think for me, the biggest learning through the new role models and through the elders that I've met, it's a strength and a courage, but a loving strength and courage. So integrity is important, and honesty, being clear, and not being afraid to ask for what I want.
It can be a positive thing or a negative thing, depending on how it's said. And for me, that means, being responsible for the things that you should be responsible for. But I think it also means, to me, about being also able to show your vulnerability. Yeah. Guys are expected to kind of act in a very masculine way, and I think a lot of guys that I knew struggled with expressing emotion and understanding kind of how their emotions kind of connected to what was happening on the outside. And so that experience was really interesting as a woman, because there's that other extreme as a woman where you kind of, it's okay to be emotional all the time, and I think it's important because it goes a long way to understanding yourself and how you relate to the other gender, and I think plays a key role in gender equality more broadly.
When I was growing up and people would say to me to be a man, it meant to me that I needed to hide some things, to hide the things that I didn't see in other men, and to portray what I thought other men were portraying, and to I guess, mimic what I thought was to be a real man. I guess I would mimic keeping within some of the things that were possibly real and I didn't see other men exhibit. Things like, I guess, the way you would talk, the way you would walk, the way you would speak, the words you'd use, the things you'd do, the things you'd say that I liked doing. I would put out there to make it look like I was this quintessential man that people were telling me to be. Really? For me, being brave and being tough is about showing who you are and being yourself, and not being concerned if you don't fall into that picture that you see other men to be. And seeking out men who are also brave and tough, who be themselves and who are real role models. I think the message for young boys today is definitely to see braveness and toughness is about that. It's about being yourself and being comfortable with that and letting people see you for who you are rather than what you think that you should be in terms of what people say or what magazines show or media shows.
Someone who has high moral convictions, is caring and is a good communicator. Just like my husband.
To have is to, one, be a leader and positive effect in their area. Like a man that can bring up his surroundings and the people around him and make a positive change, that's something really powerful. It was a pressure to really perform, like I don't see myself as much of a sporty person, but there's a lot of that. Just to be the best, a lot of competition and stuff, which I think is good, but that can be a negative effect on the people that don't perform as well. Most importantly, to be yourself and to not be afraid to be yourself. Because coming from a bit of a shy background, and people being shy, the most powerful thing is when you are just confident in who you are.
Being masculine, being strong, being able to look after someone and provide what's needed if they need you. That means don't be weak, don't shy away from something, give it your best, work hard. My dad can definitely be one. He's a good man. He's strong and has good characteristics of a man. Any professional athlete, I think, is definitely a good man. He's done well in life and yeah, doing what they love doing and earning money off it. So I think that's good qualities.
Cool.
I think it means to show respect for those around you and to show your emotions, because I know a lot of guys that have been through some hard times and they've just kept it in, and I've seen them struggle, and it's really great for men to know that they should show their feelings so those around who love them can help them.
I want to be a special man, a helpful man and a strong man. I want to save the world by helping other people every day.